presentation of the Bulldog Sports Network.
You can wrap it in maroon and white.
Live from News Park in Starkville, this is Mississippi State Softball. Mississippi State Softball is sponsored by C-Spire, customer inspired. First pitch is just moments away. Now let's go live to the broadcast booth for Mississippi State Softball.
Good evening to you, and welcome into the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman, alongside John Wesley Cochran for today's matchup in Game 2 between your Bulldogs at number 12 in the country of Mississippi State and the number 23 South Carolina Gamecocks. Mississippi State, after the loss yesterday to South Carolina in Game 1, 2-0. 30-7 on the year, 2-5 in Southeastern Conference play. Gamecocks, after the win yesterday, 22-13 and 2-5 as well in Southeastern Conference play. South Carolina's now won the last 3 in the series after yesterday, and in 3 SEC series so far. Some bright spot for today. Mississippi State has dropped every series opener, but have come back to win Game 2. They won Game 2 in the first series against Tennessee, and they won Game 2 last weekend against Georgia. Hopefully, if they win Game 2 today, can follow it up with a Game 3 win in their first SEC series win of the season. And both teams again still looking for their first series win in conference play this year. Again, I'm alongside John Wesley Cochran here at News Park. Well, John, let's first talk about yesterday. Bulldogs fall 2-0 to South Carolina in a full 7 innings. Really, it was and we talked about this with Coach Ricketts earlier, it was, State had some hitting yesterday, 6 hits in the ball game, but a lot of them came early in the inning, and the Bulldogs just could not move runners over to second base, didn't have a lot of opportunities for runners in scoring position, and just struggled when they got runners on base in the ball game, and that's why they came up with 0 runs yesterday.
No, yeah, and I think that the number one word to describe it, or phrase, if you will, is timely hits, and that's exactly what the story of the game was yesterday. You see, we have 6 hits going in, or 7 hits rather, for Mississippi State yesterday, and just wasn't able to find the right bats and the right hits at the exact same time. But you would like to see that change here today. Yeah,
most definitely, man. You look at the scorecard from yesterday too. Bulldogs, got runners on base every inning except the final 2, and State fell behind in that 6th inning with Carolina with the 2 spot. So it's unfortunate to see the Bulldogs just could not answer in those late innings, but State had traffic on the bases every inning, and for 3 straight between the 2nd and the 4th inning. They led off with runners getting on base. It was Morgan Bernardini in the 2nd inning, Kiara Sells in the 3rd inning, and Morgan Bernardini again in the 4th inning. So the Bulldogs kept leading off, and obviously that was a bright spot yesterday to see Mississippi State early in innings go to work. But again, they just could not advance runners. Bulldogs yesterday as a team, looking what they were with runners on, 2 for 15 yesterday, so struggled with that. And State had a couple of opportunities yesterday too to advance runners on bunts, and they could not do that. Popped up a couple of bunts. For State as a team that struggled with runners in scoring position this season, obviously, a struggle again yesterday. South Carolina ran out their best arm yesterday in Jory Hurd, and so you look for her. You might not see her today, and maybe State can have a little bit more success this evening here in Game 2.
No doubt. And another point that I wanted to bring up about yesterday is the fact that you get a phenomenal start out of Alyssa Faircloth. She gives you 7 innings, only gives up 2 earned runs on the entire day, finishes with 9 strikeouts. And for Mississippi State to have really good competitive wins in the Southeastern Conference, it's going to take the bats to come alive and get those hits and be able to put all the pieces together, especially whenever you get a very great start against a tough SEC team.
Yeah, you had a really good start from her, as you mentioned, those 9 strikeouts, just 1 shy of 10, which she's hit double-digit strikeouts, I believe, 5 times this year. And again, it's a Mississippi State pitching staff all season, John, that has been fantastic. We've seen it from Faircloth, saw it also yesterday too. So we're probably going to see, I believe, Peja Gould today from Mississippi State. We'll see her today. She's been fantastic. Seen Layla Amon as well. It's a pitching staff from Mississippi State. It's one of the best in the nation. We saw that yesterday. Saw the great defense from Mississippi State. Everything just kind of, in the sixth inning is when Carolina scored those 2 runs, and I thought Faircloth looked good as well, and she didn't walk a batter and only hit one batter, and it didn't come back to haunt her in that separate inning. I thought Faircloth looked good in that sixth inning. Is just timely 2-out hitting from South Carolina that Mississippi State couldn't do yesterday. But overall, got to be impressed with what you saw from the defense and Alyssa Faircloth yesterday.
No doubt, and you got to tip your cap to Faircloth for giving you those innings. And you would like to see that exact same thing happen today with Peja Gould. I mean, coming into the season with a 1.35 ERA, that's a stellar ERA against the schedule that Mississippi State has been able to play so far this season. And you would like to see that produce a couple more W's in the win column.
Now, she has struggled in SEC play so far, struggled a little bit last week, especially in Game 3 against Georgia. A 4.12 ERA in SEC play so far has allowed a 10 earned runs so far. 15 runs have scored while she's been in ball games. So, obviously hadn't been as great, at least in conference play. Faircloth has been the one that's been really, really good, and she was good again yesterday. Just State couldn't get the offensive firepower going. But what does it take from Peja Gould today as we kind of wrap up our pregame show? What does it take from Peja Gould today to keep South Carolina off the boards, or if they get on the boards, not very many runs scored for Mississippi State to be able to let the offense work?
Dude, yeah, attack the zone and piece together some strikeouts and find a way to get outs. As many of those outs as possible, as fast as possible.
Yeah, Mississippi State done a great job this season and in conference play as well, not walking very many batters, not very many freebies, and the Bulldogs have looked sharp pitching and defensively, but got to get the bats going this evening here in Starkville. National anthem just about to get played here in Starkville. Good crowd on hand here at News Park, Mississippi State. And South Carolina about to get set to do battle here in Game 2. Bulldogs trying to even the series for the 3rd straight time in SEC play this year and look to force a deciding Game 3 rubber match tomorrow. Back in just a moment for more Mississippi State softball. We'll send it to a post-game or pregame interview that I had earlier with your head coach and then send you into a little break. We'll be back in just a moment for the start of the ball game. I'm Ty Goldman alongside John Wesley Cochran, and you're listening to Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield. I'm here with your Bulldog head coach, Samantha Ricketts. Coach, a tough loss yesterday, but again, you got an opportunity to go win Game 2 today. You've won Game 2 in each SEC series so far. What's it take to win today?
Yeah, I think I'm just looking forward to seeing how we respond. We've done a great job of that all year long. Felt like didn't really play up to our standards yesterday, so looking forward to seeing our response. And we just know it's going to take our best effort every weekend, every game in this conference, and we can't expect anything handed to us. So it's going to take being clean in all 3 phases, and obviously we pitched it well, played solid defense behind Alyssa yesterday, but we need a timely hitter too is the big thing.
Yeah, you talk about hitting, and I guess yesterday that was a little bit of the missing piece. But you had early hits in innings as well, able to have 3 leadoff hits, but you just couldn't move them over. And it's been a struggle at least a little bit this year with scoring and with runners in scoring position. But obviously you got to have a little bit of confidence that you were able to have a good approach early in innings and early in counts. Just got to get those runners in the score at home.
Yeah, just looking for some team at bats, not getting too big with runners on, but finding a way to move them over and hit them in, even if it's a sac fly, a bunt, and just doing the little things right, I think is something that we're working on doing. And a little bit of a shake-up in the lineup, just giving some people some opportunities, I think, that are hungry, and looking forward to seeing how everybody responds today.
Obviously, a great pitching performance and defensive performance, as you mentioned yesterday. 6th inning was the 6th inning, but, I thought Faircloth looked good. Either way, it's just a great piece of 2-out hitting from South Carolina. Obviously, I'm sure you're going to go with Peja today. A lot of confidence in her. Obviously, had the no-hitter in the midweek, and the defense behind her has been great. Obviously, you got a lot of confidence. What's it take for them to continued that going today and continue that success?
I think just getting excited for each other. That's been a big thing the girls talked about since post game yesterday and then all day today. It's just being excited and truly happy for one another in those moments, whether that's Paige on the mound or somebody in the box. So I think we're looking for that and just to create kind of our own momentum and joy on the field when we get opportunities today.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you, Hell State.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Bulldog pride. When I'm carrying the Mississippi State University Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra state gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra Hail State from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go State to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C-Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C-Spire. Customer inspired.
Welcome back into the Bulldogs Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside John Wesley Cochran. Just about set for first pitch here at News Park in Game 2 between number 12 Mississippi State and number 23 South Carolina. Bulldogs looking to even up the series after the 2-0 loss to the Gamecocks yesterday. We'll get started with our starting lineups here. First, I'll give South Carolina, and John Wesley will give Mississippi State's starting lineup. Leading off and in left field for South Carolina will be the freshman in Quincy Lelio. A really solid ball game yesterday. Went 2 for 3. Looks to cap off on that, and she'll be in a leadoff spot for today's ball game, batting second. And at second base, going to be the junior, 385 batting average, and Carly Shelton. Batting third and in center field, the junior Tori Inslee, 360 batting average, went 1 for 3 yesterday. Batting in the cleanup spot, and at first base, Ariana Rohde, senior, with a 267 batting average, 1 for 3 in yesterday's contest. Batting fifth, and in right field again today, going to be number 20, Jamie McKay, senior, 265 batting average. Yesterday's solid game as well, 2 for 2. Batting in the sixth spot, designated player for the day, going to be the junior Alyssa Hovermail, a 326 average, went 1 for 3 yesterday. Batting seventh behind the plate, going to be the senior and a 262 average in Lexi Winters. She went 0 for 3 in yesterday's game. Batting eighth at the hot corner at third base, the sophomore with a 299 average, Tate Davis, who went 0 for 3 as well yesterday. And then rounding out the order, going to be the sophomore shortstop in number 3, Shay Anderson, a 287 batting average, and went 0 for 3 in yesterday's game as well. Starting pitcher going to be the righty junior with a 3.74 ERA in Neely Lamb. We'll get you more info on her when State bats in the bottom half of the first inning. John, let's hear Mississippi State starting lineup.
Yeah, leading off and playing right field will be Kiara Sells. She's the highest batting average on this roster. Coming in batting second will be shortstop number 24, Morgan Stiles, sitting at a stellar 354 coming into the game. Playing at third base and batting third is Nadia Barbary. Cleaning up for the Bulldogs this evening will be first baseman Paige Ernstus. And the left fielder will be Morgan Bernardini batting fifth. The DP tonight is number 41, Taylor Troutman, the lone left-handed batter for Mississippi State. She bats in the 6th spot. 7-8-9 for the Bulldogs. The center fielder batting 7th will be Kinley Keller at 386. The catcher tonight batting 8th is Des Rivera. And the second baseman, Zion Romero, batting 9th to round out the batting order. Starting in the circle tonight is Peja Gould, as she comes into the game pitching with an ERA of 1.35. Excited to see her tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. Appreciate you, John, for the starting lineup for MSU. 1.35 ERA, 12-4 record this year for the senior transfer out of UT Chattanooga. 22nd appearance today and 15th game started. 8 complete games, so far this year. 88 innings pitched, 43 hits, 24 runs, 17 of them being earned. 20 walks, 122 strikeouts, a 141 average against her, coming off of a great performance in the midweek against UT Martin, a no-hitter, her first career no-hitter against UT Martin on Wednesday in Mississippi State, 7-0 win over the Skyhawks. So looking to, obviously, it'd be great for her to have that tonight. I think it'd be put good odds for Mississippi State, but looking to just replicate what she did. Also had a season-high 13 strikeouts in that ball game as well. 1 walk, which was the only thing that kept her away from a perfect game as well. So a solid outing for her last time out. And she'll go to work, one of the best pitchers in the country, Southeastern Conference, and obviously on this Bulldog roster. Just about set for first pitch here. Mississippi State in all white with the pins, and maroon script state across the front, maroon numerals. South Carolina going pins. They went pins yesterday with script Gamecocks across the front in white. Today they go pins in with garnet, main jersey color, black pins, and the SC logo on the left chest and white numerals as well. So pretty good uniform matchup, pins on pins, and not a sunny day here in Starkville. Kind of overcast, wind blowing again, was blowing in the center from yesterday, now blowing out towards left field. And so we'll see if that's any sort of a factor. But feels great outside and a great day for SEC softball.
No, yeah, it feels great outside. Wouldn't be shocked if we see maybe a few balls fly out towards left field. Lots of righties in both batting lineups. Not a single left-handed hitter in the lineup it looks like left-handed leading off for South Carolina. But lots of right-handed batters for both teams.
Yeah, lots of righties, so it favors, like you said, the home run to left. And didn't get any yesterday, but we'll see if we get some today, and hopefully for the maroon and white of Mississippi State. Just about set for first pitch, and here it comes from Peja Gould in there for called strike 1. First pitch at 6:02 p.m. Central Time here in Starkville, Game 2 between Mississippi State and South Carolina.
No, yeah, that's exactly what I want to see Gould continue to fill it up.
This one grounded over to the right side. Up with it, the second baseman, Romero, flip over to Ernstis at first for out number 1. 2 pitches, 1 out, and quick work of the leadoff hitter. And Lelio had a great day yesterday for the Gamecocks.
No, perfect defense right there. Attacks the ball, a chopper over towards the right side. Did not hesitate and attack the ball.
Standing in now, going to be switch hitting Shelton. Carly Shelton sends this one over to second. Hey, Romero with 2 assists, a put out for Ernstis, or back-to-back put outs, and 2 outs now in the inning of the ground out to second base again.
Well, that's how you draw it up. You like the quick outs. Try to get them in and get them fast. And Romero, she's getting her money's worth tonight. Lots of activity over at second base already.
Didn't get the start yesterday. It was Gabby Schaefer who started, but working today and already quick work. She's helped retire 2 South Carolina batters to start this ball game. Tori Inslee will stand in now. First pitch to her misses outside for ball 1. Inslee yesterday 1 for 3 in game 1. Swing and a miss for strike 1, and evens the count up 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Peja throws a
play coming into this series. This one misses outside, now 2-1. Sure that, obviously is gone up a little bit after a 1 for 3 day yesterday. Junior out of Franklin, North Carolina, played at NC State last year and for 2 years before transferring, playing for the Gamecocks in Columbia. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Deuces on the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here. Gould trying to retire the Gamecocks in order to start the ball game. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout of the ball game. Peja Gould able to retire South Carolina in order. Lelio Shelton with ground outs and Inslee with a strikeout. And a great start for Mississippi State's Peja Gould. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. And that'll send us to the bottom half of the first, John.
No, yeah, that's exactly how you want to draw it up. 3 up, 3 down. Couple of ground outs to second base, and you get a nice swing and miss. And, you know, that breaking pitch is working really good so far for Peja Gould.
We'll keep it here in the middle of the first because we want to introduce the starting pitcher for South Carolina in Neely Lamb, a junior righty. Lamb, a junior, as I mentioned, out of Cades, South Carolina. Played with Charleston Southern her freshman year and had a really good career there. Last year at South Carolina, 3.26 ERA, 29 appearances, went 10-3, 73 innings pitched. Really, really solid last year for the Gamecocks. But what has she done this year, John?
No, yeah, she's had a pretty okay season. She comes in 4 for 5, 39.1 innings pitched. 34 strikeouts on the season, and just to kind of give you a picture of what that looks like, obviously she has about half as many innings as Peja Gould, but Peja Gould has 4 times as many strikeouts as Neely Lamb does coming into this game. And, you know, obviously respect her and what she's doing, but it just goes to show exactly how strong Mississippi State's pitching staff is.
Yes, it does. I mean, a team that collectively leads the nation in strikeouts from a pitching staff, so they've been fantastic this year. Again, she's 4-5 on the year, as John mentioned, a 3.74 ERA. Last pitched and started against Clemson in the midweek where South Carolina lost 8-0, and she was credited with the loss, gave up 4 hits, 4 earned runs, didn't strike out anybody. And, in SEC play most recently last weekend against LSU, pitched in relief in all 3 games, so has some experience, obviously, in Southeastern Conference play. And looking to make up for that start that she had in the loss in the midweek. Kiara Sells will stand in for Mississippi State to start the bottom of the first inning, and the first pitch from Lamb misses high and tight for ball 1.
Yeah, I want to see Kiara Sells improve after last night's game. She finishes with a hit, but finishes the evening with 2 strikeouts. I'd like to see some discipline tonight.
This one just misses. Again, our umpires in this one, same 3 as yesterday, but they've moved around a little bit. Alex Leap behind the plate, Scott Merritt first, and Tatum Stolting looking over at third base, and she'll also be responsible for second. This one catches the zone. Now 2-1 the Sells. Best average in the order, 1 for 3 yesterday. Again, has been solid, but as you mentioned, John, it got to improve and, not K up as much.
No doubt.
The 2-1. Swing and a foul ball back off the catcher in Winters, and the count after starting 2-0 evens at 2-2.
Yeah, the thing that I like most about Kiara Sells is her versatility. She can hit it just about anywhere. Already has 12 home runs on the season.
This one fouled off of the body of Sells, and count will stay at 2-2. Yeah, and another thing to like as well, I mentioned she struck out 2 times yesterday, but on the season, that on-base percentage above 500 at 512, so getting on base, half the time this year.
No, yeah, that's the name of the game for softball. If you can get some runners on base and play a little small ball and get some balls in play.
This one put out of play and hard hit down the third baseline and out of play in the left field. Sells trying to stay alive in the count. Bulldogs got a runner on in the first yesterday. Took them a little bit to get that. The leadoff runner did not get on, but yesterday for Mississippi State. But it was Morgan Stiles in the 2 spot that got on to start the first inning for Mississippi State yesterday. Sells looking to do it in the leadoff spot. The 2-2 catches the outer half, and Sells is Cade looking for the first out in the inning.
Yeah, and that's a tough one. Off-speed pitch on the outside corner catches Sells looking. But Sells was very early on a lot of pitches throughout the at-bat. Would like to see her bounce back later in the game.
Morgan Stiles now going to stand in. Sophomore out of Athens, Alabama. First pitch to her. Misses outside for ball one as the fire truck pulls in the center field. They're always out here for Mississippi State softball. Students above the right field fence as well. This one catches the inner half and evens the count up at 1-1. On Stiles, who has a .354 average, as I mentioned, reached in the first inning yesterday. 1 for 2 day for her yesterday and reached on 2 out of 3 plate appearances.
Yeah, one of only 4 batters yesterday to secure a hit.
Yeah, Bulldogs, as this one misses low, now 2-1. Bulldogs, like we mentioned in the pregame interview with Coach Ricketts, able to get on base in innings, but she couldn't move past first base. And State had 6 hits yesterday in the contest, and none of them could drive in any runs.
Yeah, you see the first 4 batters yesterday finished with a base hit, but you see the back half of that order just unable to find hits at the right time.
2-1 was a strike. 2-2 misses outside, and now count runs full at 3-2, and Stiles trying to repeat what she did yesterday with a walk in the first yesterday, trying to do that here. On a 8-game reach base streak. Sends this one up the middle. Diving play by the shortstop, and Anderson throw over, not in time, and an infield single for Morgan. Stiles extends that reach base streak. Great effort there from Shea Anderson at shortstop, but Stiles able to use that speed and get down the first base line.
Yeah, you definitely have to hand it to Anderson on that play. Love the effort, but Stiles able to put it in just a far enough spot that she has to dive and make a very difficult throw across the diamond. Stiles able to make it to first base with just enough time.
That'll bring up Nadia Barbary from Mississippi State. First pitch to her, all speed, catches the outer half for strike one. Wind again blowing out to the left and picking up a little bit, favoring the pull side home run for Barbary, and she swings and misses out in front of the all-speed pitch, and quickly the count runs to no balls and 2 strikes.
Neely Lamb has been filling up the zone with a lot of off-speed pitches, and she's making a lot of these batters from Mississippi State work already early through the first 3 batters.
0-2 to Barbary, misses high and outside. Maybe trying to change the eye level a little bit there, and the count now 1-2. Barbary yesterday 1 for 3 in the game. As John mentioned, everybody in that top half of the order got a hit yesterday. Rivera was the 4 spot yesterday. She's since moved now to the 8-hole. Lineup's shaking up a little bit today for State. This one hard hit over to third. Davis boots it, and no throw over to first base. An error for South Carolina. The Bulldogs cooking here in the first inning with runners at first and second base.
No doubt, and that's why you call it the hot corner, and that is proof is in the pudding right there. A very hard hit ground ball and bounces right off the glove, and Dogs have runners at first and second just like that.
Paige Ernstis now will stand in the cleanoff spot. Hadn't been the greatest of hitters this season. Getting the start today at first base, a 150 batting average, but Coach Ricketts talked about that with me in the pregame interview as this one misses outside for ball 1. Trying to shake up the lineup a little bit, maybe create a little bit of juju out of that.
No doubt. And I think sometimes getting the call for somebody that maybe doesn't have the results and put them in a big position helps.
Ground ball sent over to short. 6-4. Can't get 3. Is Ernstis able to make it down the first baseline in time? Barbary retired at second base, and she'll jog back to the State dugout. 6-4 fielder's choice, and now 2 gone in the bottom of the first for State with runners at the corners.
Yeah, not ideal, but you move the runners from second to third. Move the runner from second to third, so now State has a chance with A runner at third base to drive in a run with only 2 outs.
Morgan Bernardini will stand in. First pitch to her, misses inside for ball 1. So Ernst is at first and Styles at third base. John, exactly the same way that the first inning started yesterday, just different hitters in different spots. But yesterday it was strikeout, walk, single, fielder's choice for the first 4 batters. We had that exact same thing here. Bernardini sends this one foul above the net, above the state bench. The count evens at 1-1. So pretty funny how that happened.
Yeah, no, it's funny how the game works, but it's same thing applies. Situational hitting. Can Mississippi State be able to secure timely base hits whenever you have runners sitting at third base and keep innings alive?
Bernardini this season, a .281 hitter with runners in scoring position. This one sent up the middle, but able to corral it as the shortstop Anderson. She steps on the bag at second base, and the Bulldogs retired with 2 left on base. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and like I said, 2 left on base, and that will send us, to the top half of the second inning where the Bulldogs and the Gamecocks are tied at 0. State trying to even up the series and force a Game 3 rubber match tomorrow evening. Back in just a moment for more Mississippi State softball. Again, 0-0 as we head to the top of the second. I'm Ty Goldman alongside John Wesley Cochran, and you're listening to Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder. Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
Hi, I'm Jake Mangum. Life is about making the most of your at-bats. So if you struck out looking for auto insurance, give Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance a shot. Farm Bureau Insurance is offering huge discounts on their auto rates. In fact, over the last 12 months, Farm Bureau Insurance has taken 3 rate reductions. Talk about coming through in the clutch. So if you were with us before, you're new to Farm Bureau, it's time to come home. Visit msfbins.com to find great new rates on auto insurance. And go with the home team.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside John Wesley Cochran. John Wesley just got himself a couple slices of pizza, trying to get fed here as we enter nighttime here in Starkville. We head to the top half of the second inning. Bulldogs and Gamecocks tied at 0. State and Peja Gould able to retire the first 3 hitters in the order, and so it'll be in the first inning, and so it'll be 4, 5, and 6, and Rhodey, McKay, and Hovermail due up to start the top half of the second inning.
Yeah, Peja is looking really good so far. Quick work in the top of the first inning. See if she can continue to do the same.
First pitch to Rhodey misses outside for ball 1. She went 1 for 3 yesterday in the ball game. This one catches the zone. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, you see the difference in Mississippi State's hitting yesterday versus South Carolina's. A lot of their hits were spread out.
This one comes off the catcher Rivera over the State dugout. Luckily no runners on, so not much to worry about. Count, though, runs in favor of Rhodey, now 2-1. Rhodey, a senior out of Cranston, Rhode Island. It's been her freshman and sophomore seasons for the 49ers of Charlotte. Played last year with Carolina. Sends one foul down the left field line. Playable for Bernardini. She's able to make the grab for out number 1. So
yeah.
There goes Rhodey. 1 out in the top half of the second inning.
Yeah, tough play over there on the left field line, especially with, like Ty was saying earlier, an overcast day. It's starting to get a little bit darker out here as we're approaching sunset. Tough play down the foul line, but secures the out. 1 out away.
Jamie McKay now will stand in. First pitch to her, misses low for ball 1. McKay 2 for 2 yesterday. That other plate appearance, she had 3. Laid down a successful sacrifice bunt. You know, last year in 2 games at here at Mississippi State because she played for Ole Miss last year. This one also misses low. McKay tall in that batter's box, so that one just at the knees and now 2-0. But went 1 for 4 in 2 games played here at News Park last year against Mississippi State, so trying to right the wrongs this series, and she started off the series well yesterday against State. This one sent into right, or rather a little bit shorter than I thought it would go, as Romero makes the play on the edge of the infield dirt for out number 2.
Yeah, how about Romero? Already 3 outs over to her direction over at second base. This time a pop out, but Mississippi State relying on the defense and able to get some quick outs already as we're sitting here in the top of the second.
Standing in will be Alyssa Hovermail. Sweeping pitch will sweep its way into the zone for strike 1.
Boy, did that have some movement. I felt like that was about to hit the knees of Hovermail, but nonetheless, here we are.
Off speed misses low to Hovermail. The count evens at 1-1. Yesterday, Hovermail in the ball game, 1 for 3. Drove in that 2 RBI or 2-run single in the right in the 6th inning. That ended up being the 2 winning runs for South Carolina. This one misses inside. Now the count 2-1.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the key to SEC softball. It doesn't take much. You get 2 really good starts out of pitchers. It just takes 1 base hit.
This one misses outside. Now 3-1. Don't want a 2-out walk here. Gould has retired the first 5 she's seen in the Carolina order. But Hovermail had that 2-out RBI single with 2 strikes as well. Just really clutch 2-out and 2-strike hitting from her yesterday, which won it for the Gamecocks. This 3-1 in there for a strike, and now the count full 3-2. Gould trying to retire 6 straight to start the ball game. The 3-2 just misses off the outer edge, and man, fans a little upset about that one. And that one just had to miss off the outer edge, and a 2-out walk for Hovermail.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Ty, that did not miss by much, and you can see the excitement and the backlash from the fans after that pitch, but nonetheless, a runner sitting at first, and now Gould's got to battle back here to retire the batter.
This one misses low to Lexi Winters for ball 1. Winters also a transfer from Charlotte, like Rhodey, I mentioned earlier, and also spent her freshman and sophomore seasons at Charlotte as well. Last year for South Carolina, this one misses 2-0, and Des Rivera will go out the circle and talk with her pitcher in Gould. But last year, winners for South Carolina had 53 RBIs, 5th most in a single season at USC, and 331 batting average. SEC play has struggled a little bit coming in with a 200 average. And I'm sure, Rivera going out in the circle, just trying to calm her pitcher down here. Has rolled through the first 5 batters. A little trouble there, losing the 6th batter in Hovermail, but you can pitch really free here. This one catches his own, now 2-1.
I'll tell you what, Ty, that pitch for Paige Gould is consistently finding the zone. Really excited to see how that pitch develops throughout the rest of the game.
2-1, and now this one finds his own, and the count quickly evens at 2-2 with 2 outs in the inning. Runner at first base, and Hovermail, she walked with 2 outs. Gould trying to get past that and retire. Winters, swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back innings where Gould ends off the inning with a strikeout, a swing and a miss, her 2nd strikeout recorded of the ball game, and Carolina leaves a runner stranded. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base, and we're still scoreless through 1.5 innings. We'll head to the home half of the second in just a moment. 0-0 between South Carolina and Mississippi State in Game 2. Back in just a moment for more Mississippi State softball, and you're listening to Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network. I'm Ty Goldman alongside John Wesley Cochran as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. Game 2 between MSU and USC, and the Bulldogs and Gamecocks tied at 0. Mississippi State will have 6, 7, and 8 due up. It'll be Taylor Troutman, Kinley Keller, and Des Rivera. They'll face off against Neely Lamb once again. Some news outside of here and up in Oxford. Mississippi State baseball, a 7-1 win today over Ole Miss. And they sweep the Rebels and continue that dominance that they've had over their rivals from up north. And so good news for Mississippi State baseball this weekend. They've now won 8 in a row as Taylor Troutman stands in, swing and a miss for strike 1.
Yeah, huge win for Brian O'Connor and the Bulldogs squad. Hopefully it's signs of potential postseason hopes for Mississippi State.
This one sent foul and out of play, and count now 1-1. Yeah, I mean, definitely feel like State's a team that'll host a regional, could easily get to Omaha. It's the best team that State's had since that national championship team in 2021. Troutman sends this one in the left. Going to be a tough play for the left fielder, and Lelio and a diving grab made for out number 1. Man, that thing just kept dropping and dropping and dropping, and Lelio able to dive and let it drop into her glove for out number 1.
Yeah, and that's how difficult it is to find base hits in the SEC, is because you have athletes that can make big-time plays. Lelio does one herself out in left field.
Kinley Keller now going to stand in. She came in and pinch hit yesterday and went 0 for 1 in that pinch hit appearance. Able to get a hit there. Didn't strike out, put a ball in play, just couldn't reach base. First pitch through was a ball. Now this one catches the outer half, 1-1. Lelio so far this year out and left has made 3 errors, but has looked good so far this series, and so has both defenses for Mississippi State and South Carolina. This one catches the outer half. Now the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. No errors for either team as we sit here in the bottom of the second in game 2 through this series. This one misses in the dirt. Evens the count up at 2-2. Keller, in her freshman season out of New Braunfels, Texas, been solid. Had a home run last weekend against Georgia in game 2 that helped push the Mississippi State Bulldogs over the Georgia Bulldogs in that game 2. Off speed, and they say they made contact, I believe, a foul ball into the mitt, and that's strikeout number 2 for Neely Lamb, and there's 2 gone in the bottom of the second for MSU.
And I mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, but Lamb and her ability to utilize and locate the off-speed pitch is what's killing Mississippi State's batting order right now.
Des Rivera now going to stand in. First pitch to her. Catches the outer half for strike 1. Rivera moving down now to the 8 spot in today's ball game. Was in the cleanup spot yesterday. This one hit off the end of the bat. Anderson able to come up and throw it to first base as it was grounded over to short in time to Rhodey. And that will end the second inning. State retired in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as we move to the top half of the third inning here in Starkville. And we are still scoreless. Bulldogs and Gamecocks went scoreless yesterday all the way to the sixth inning until the Gamecocks scored the only 2 runs of the ball game. And so we'll see how long it takes both teams to score today. I mean, listen, you look, John, at the first home series for Mississippi State against Tennessee. It took 9 innings till we got our first runs in that game one against Tennessee with State's loss. Took 7 innings for us to get our only run of the game for Mississippi State in Game 2. Game 3 was a little bit different. So at home here, we've seen Mississippi State, and it has pitched well, and their opponents that they faced have pitched well too, and kept teams off the board.
No, yeah, and it's the repercussions of playing in a really highly competitive conference with the SEC, and every weekend you're going to face very strong pitchers, and that's exactly what you're seeing tonight again, and it's what you're seeing with teams week in and week out. I mean, you play against the number 1 team at home in Tennessee. Now you bring in another top 25 team in South Carolina. You're going to get similar results, and Mississippi State's just trying to find a rhythm, against these competitive teams whenever they're trying to find their batting lineup. And, we heard what Samantha Ricketts was saying earlier in the pregame show, but she's willing to switch up the entire batting lineup just to find that right groove and that right mojo that's what's going to put together W's in the win column.
Yeah, just such a tough conference to play in. I mean, 15 teams, and over, 2/3 of them are ranked, I believe. And so it's just a conference full of talent, and it's just incredibly impressive. I said 15 teams. That wasn't a mistake. Vanderbilt doesn't have a softball team, so sometimes people get blindsided by that, but only 15 teams in the conference, but still a strong 15 squads. And we'll get you some scores from around the conference in just a little bit later on in the broadcast. But right now we're going to start the top half of the 3rd inning. Tate Davis going to stand in, the 8-hole hitter for South Carolina, and face Peja Gould. She checks swings. They'll appeal down the first, and they'll say she went around for strike 1. Gould so far been solid, John. 2 innings pitched. Had the 1 walk, but no hits given up, no earned runs, and two strikeouts.
No, yeah, solid start so far. She's relied on a lot of her defense to be able to get a lot of outs. We've seen a lot of pop outs, a lot of ground outs, but she's been able to finish off some innings with a couple strikeouts.
Swing and a miss from Davis. Count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Gould searching for that 3rd strikeout of the ball game. Here's the pitch. Misses outside, and a waste pitch there outside, and 1-2 now the count.
Yeah, and Gould has that luxury that she can have waste pitches. Whenever you're ahead in the count 0-2, you have that luxury to be able to throw whatever pitch you want.
Swing and a foul ball back to the netting, and count will stay 1-2. Yesterday, Davis 0 for 3 in the ball game. That bottom half of the order struggled yesterday for South Carolina. Obviously, Hovermail in the bottom of the order yesterday had the clutch 2-out single that scored 2 for Carolina, but outside of that, lineup struggled at the bottom for South Carolina yesterday. The all-speed pitch just misses for ball 2 and evens the count up. John was looking for a punch out, so was I.
Man, that was a breaking pitch that was maybe a little bit up in the zone, but wouldn't have been shocked if he punched him out around there.
2-2 fouled over into the state bench. The count will stay where it is. Davis, that average at 299 now, so just a point under 300. Sophomore infielder out of Greer, South Carolina, also a transfer from Ole Miss. Looking for her first hit since the LSU series, went 0 for 2 in the midweek against Clemson. This one fouled back to the netting, and count will stay where it is. Carolina's hitters fighting in counts so far, and Davis doing the same, and Bulldog hitters have done that as well. 2-2 incoming from Gould. And another foul ball.
Boy, do we have a battle tie.
Yeah, we're getting close to near the 10th pitch of the at-bat. There have been, 3 or 4 foul balls now here from Davis?
Back and forth. We saw the 0-2 count and then a waste pitch, and then it's been a lot of foul balls in between.
2-2 misses low. This one not fouled off this time, but unable to go down and get that was Davis. Misses low and inside, and the count runs full.
Yeah, you have a 2-2 pitch. I mean, not a bad spot to throw it in. She had a few swing and misses on the pass batters.
And this one misses low and inside. Now a leadoff walk for Tate Davis. So credit to her fighting in that at-bat, and she's able to draw a walk and trot on down to first base to lead off the top of the third for Carolina.
Yeah, a tough one to lose right there if you're Peja Gould, second walk of the evening. But nonetheless, you have a runner at first, so the double play ball is still in play. I'd like to see her bounce back and be able to attack this 9-hole hitter.
She does on the first pitch, 0-1 now. The count to Shea Anderson, that one right down the middle. Anderson also 0 for 3 yesterday, sophomore shortstop out of Moore Park, California. Showing bunt is Anderson. She misses the bunt, a throwback to first, not in time. Romero was coming over to cover for Ernstis, who pushed in on the bunt, and this one with the throw down not in time, so safe is Davis. 5 stolen bags on the year out of 6 attempts.
Man, Ty, I know your view isn't as great from where you're standing right now, but that was a very, very close play at first base on the potential pickoff.
And this one catches his own 0-2 pitch and a punch out. Anderson is retired, and the lineup will flip over 1 out here in the away half of the third. Third strikeout of the ball game for Peja Gould, and now Quincy Lelio will stand in.
Man, that just proves why Gould is one of the best pitchers in the entire country. Her 125th strikeout of the season. Like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, nearly 4 times as many strikeouts as Neely Lamb does coming into this game. So, big things ahead for Gould.
Lelio took the first pitch for a ball, and this one she takes right down Broadway for strike 1 and evens the count up at 1-1. Again, Davis over at first. Rivera paying close attention to her. Maybe to see if she'll steal. Swing and a miss from Lelio for strike 2. 0 for 1 today, grounded out in the first. Had a great game yesterday, 2 for 3. She's been solid for Carolina. Best lineup in the order coming into today.
Attack this batter as much as possible.
This one misses high in the zone for the second ball. The count 2-2 now. Lelio with an on-base percentage now of .537. Nice play from Barbary. Throw over to first in time. Couldn't make the throw to second. She had to get down and dirty and grab that one. And kind of threw that with her, just pretty much parallel. Her feet were not set towards first base. She kind of threw that from an open stance to first and able to make the play for out number 2.
No doubt. And that was kind of one of those situations for Barbary where she catches the ball immediately. A great snag from the glove. Thought about maybe turning 2, but with her body open and the runner still time over at first base, she thought she could make the play and got the out. A great scoop over at first base as well.
Carly Shelton digs in now. First pitch to her missed outside for ball 1. Shelton grounded out in the first as well. This one sent hard over to Ernstis at first, but she's able to snare it for out number 3. Bulldogs able to get past the leadoff walk. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base for South Carolina as we move to the bottom half of the third inning. Both teams have left 2 on. Bulldogs, the only team with a hit so far. They have 2, but they look to get on the scoreboard with some runs here in the bottom of the third. 9-1-2 due up for State. Romero, Sells, and Stiles back in just a moment. For more Mississippi State softball, I'm Ty Goldman alongside John Wesley Cochran, and you're listening to Mississippi State softball as we're scoreless through 2.5 on Learfield.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Hey Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network. I'm Ty Gilman alongside John Wesley Cochran. Mississippi State and South Carolina as we head to the bottom half of the third inning in Starkville, tied at 0. It was like this yesterday. Took to the sixth inning to get our only 2 runs of the ball game from the Gamecocks, and still scoreless as we head to the bottom half of the third here. Neely Lamb back out in the circle for South Carolina. 9-1-2 due up for Mississippi State. It's Zion Romero due up first in the bottom half of the order for the Bulldogs. So Romero will stand in a 147 average on the year, getting the start today at second base, and the first pitch to her misses high for ball 1. Romero yesterday, don't believe came in to hit. She did not. Came in, played a little bit on Wednesday in the midweek. I believe got a hit in that one. Had to count quickly 2-0 on her. Lamb has, not been able to get first pitch strikes as often, but has been able to work a clean slate so far.
No doubt. She's filling the zone with a lot of breaking pitches, and she's able to get a few swing and misses out of the deal.
This one a swing and a foul ball out of play to the right. The count now 2-1. The Bulldogs with that win on Wednesday against UT Martin got to 30 wins on the year. Fastest that's ever been done in program history. Solid start to the season for State. This one misses low for ball 3, and it's just been a different program for Mississippi State ever since Coach Samantha Ricketts took the reins.
No, she is the real deal, and I'm excited to see how Mississippi State fares over the next few seasons with her at that.
Romero, a slow ground ball over to Anderson at short. She's able to field it and come up with it and throw it to first base in time for out number 1. So the leadoff batter retired for Mississippi State. And the lineup will flip over to Kiara Sells for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and if you're Samantha Ricketts, you're probably thinking, man, it's nice to get back to the top of the order here. Now let's see if we can get back in a rhythm. Styles and Barbary already have base hits. Let's see if we can keep them hot here at the top of the order.
Swing and a miss way out in front of Sells on that off-speed pitch that we've seen from Lamb all game. And a count now 0-1. Sells Cade looking in the first. Hopefully it's the same trend as yesterday. She K'd in the first inning yesterday, but in her second plate appearance, she was able to reach on a single. This one misses outside, now 1-1 the count.
Yeah, Sells very early on a lot of these pitches. I'd like to see her just sit back just a little bit, let the pitch come to her, and then things will play out as it goes from there.
1-1 to Sells. And that one right down the middle for strike 2. Look at Sells last weekend, great weekend against Georgia, 3 for 6 at a home run, and reached with 5 walks as well. So 8 out of the 11 plate appearances she was on base. And the 1-2 misses outside, now 2-2. She's also on a 6-game reach base streak as well.
No, yeah, that's exactly what you want at the top of the order, and somebody that's able to find a way to get on base or find a way to put the ball in play and get some base hits.
2-2 are here. Misses high for ball 3. The count runs full. See if she can put one in play here or maybe just take ball 4. The Bulldogs trying to get another runner aboard. They've left 2 on base so far through this thing. Were retired in order last half inning. This one misses low for ball 4. Sells extends that reach base streak to 7. And Mississippi State with a runner on and 1 out here in the home half of the third inning.
Great at bat for Kiara Sells. That's exactly what I talked about going into this game is I want to see her be patient. And we saw her strikeout numbers yesterday, a couple strikeouts in her 4 at-bats. This time, she has a full count, and she's able to take a nice take and able to sit at first base now.
0-0 to Morgan Stiles, catches the outer half for strike one. Stiles 1 for 1 in the game, had a single back in the first, made her way to third, and couldn't score. Stiles with a single in each game so far now. And this one misses, now 1-1. But she had, been in the leadoff spot for really a majority of the beginning of the year. And, since then it's kind of just been now a Sells, Stiles, Barbary 1-2-3 for Mississippi State. And obviously they've shaken up the lineup a little bit more today. This one sent over towards the right side and kicked off the second baseman, or rather off the foot of Kiara Sells, I believe. And everybody's safe for right now. And they're going to, I guess, third base coach going to talk, or third base umpire going to talk about with Coach Ricketts. And everybody's safe for right now. Nothing. It's just a bad luck there for Carolina.
No doubt. I mean, yeah, you were right. That was directly off of, I believe that was the right foot of Kiara Sells. And even before that, even if it doesn't hit Sells' foot, that is a perfectly placed ground ball right through splits the first and second baseman. This time, Kiara Sells was able to wind over at second base. I wouldn't have been shocked if she had been able to round second and head to third base in between that time period, though.
Ashley Chastain Woodard, the head coach for South Carolina, talking with the umpires about it. Nothing that can be done. Maroon and white chant here in the bottom half of the third from the fans, and hopefully it can spark something for Mississippi State. Got a really good scoring opportunity here. Runners at first and second base for Nadia Barbary here in the top half of the order. And now two coaches will come out of the dugout for South Carolina. Don't know if they've got anybody loosening out the pen. You can't really see too much with the black screen over the pen, but maybe just having a chat with their infielders as well as their battery in Lamb and Winters.
Yeah, can't really tell too much. Maybe some slight activity over in the visitors' bullpen for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, I think I saw a 25, and them having white numbers on today helps. I think I saw a 25 out there, and that would be Jory Hurd, who came in and got the win yesterday in relief. It's really solid against Mississippi State. Carolina not making a move in the pen just yet, and so hopefully State can do damage with Neely Lamb in for the time being.
Yes. Mississippi State unable to get any action yesterday. They're shut out 2-0. Now Mississippi State with runners at first and second, only one out. They still have plenty of time to see if they can get a timely base hit like we were talking about earlier, Ty.
And I tell you what, John, I think South Carolina is going to make the switch. So they will make the switch, and they'll go to Jory Hurd. So that'll be the ball game for Neely Lamb. Her book not quite closed yet. She'll be responsible for the runners at first base and second base if they come around the score. But that'll be it. She finishes, look at her stats real quick. 3 hits in 2 1/3 innings, 3 hits. No earned runs. Obviously, that can change if these two come around the score for Mississippi State. 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. Faced 11 batters through 45 total pitches. And so she would not be in line for the win right now, and obviously could still have some runs against her, too. And that's the ball game for Neely Lamb. Now, Carolina brings in Jory Hurd, who had a really good game in relief yesterday against Mississippi State, John, and ended up getting the win.
Yeah, I mean, not many opportunities where you see the relief pitcher asked to be able to complete pretty much over half the game. Emma Friedel goes 2 2/3, and Jory Hurd enters the game and finishes out the entire game, pitches 4 innings and 4 1/3 innings pitched, only gives up 2 hits, and able to shut down the Bulldogs in the remainder of that time period. So wouldn't be shocked if she has a similar outing tonight, but you would like to see the Bulldogs respond and be able to find those right hits at the right time.
Nadia Barbary looking to do just that. She stands in, one out in the inning, runners at first and second for State. This one softly hit over to first, and Hurd will just make the play over to first base, a toss over there in time. A productive out, though, as Sells able to advance to third and Styles at second base, and so now two runners in scoring position for the cleanup hitter in Paige Ernstis.
Yeah, not an ideal play that you would like to see on the previous play with the grounder to the pitcher for an easy out, but now cleanup spot. Ernst has a big chance with runners at second and third.
This one misses high for ball one. Ernst is 0 for 1 of the game, grounded to a fielder's choice in the first. Yeah, I mean, obviously want to send one through and into the outfield and score a run, but at least it's just a productive out and moves two runners over. The 1-0 to Ernst is sent in the right and will not get down. That one got up in the air and kind of a little blooper, and Shelton able to make the grab for out number 3. And the Bulldogs strand 2. They have no runs on one hit, no errors, and again, 2 left on base as we head to the top half of the fourth inning. John, again, another instance. State has struggled this season with runners in scoring position. Now on the year after leaving those 2 stranded, they're 0 for 1 today. 0 for 4 today. Coming into the series, they were 5 for 30, went 0 for 3 yesterday, so now 5 for 37 with runners in scoring position, an average below 200. It's just been a struggle all year for them, and another instance there where that happens.
No, yeah, it stinks if you're Mississippi State right there, where you've had back-to-back innings where you have runners at third base, and you just need that one extra base hit. And we've seen some production already today, 3 base hits, and pitching is able to get the job done so far, as Paige Gould has been able to shut down the Gamecocks already now here as we enter the fourth inning. So she's been flawless through 3. Mississippi State's bats just need to get hot at the exact time.
Yeah, Gould has been fantastic. She's back out in the circle, due up for Carolina. Looks like it'll be, look back at it, be 3, 4, and 5. Inslee, Rohde, and McKay. Those 3 combined today, 0 for 3. And Bulldogs looking to keep the flawless innings going. Gould trying to look to do that. Defenses look sharp in this one so far, and looked sharp yesterday as well. And so looking to keep that alive here in Game 2. Appreciate you tuning in. Again, I'm Ty Goldman alongside John Wesley Cochran. Scoreless as we head to the top of the fourth inning between State and Carolina in Game 2. Glad to have you on the Bulldog Student Sports Network on YouTube, as well as on hailstate.com and the Hail State app. The Bulldog Student Sports Network, you can follow us on, obviously subscribe to us on YouTube, just Bulldog Student Sports Network there. And then on X, you can follow us at BSSN_MSU. And on Instagram at Bulldog Student Sports Network. Also follow Mississippi State Softball on social media as well. Hail State Softball across really all platforms, Instagram, X. I think they have a Facebook as well. You can follow them there too. And you can get links as well when we go live for SEC play, as we're now officially doing the official radio for Mississippi State and Southeastern Conference play. It's a great opportunity, John.
No doubt. Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks to Mississippi State Athletics and Learfield for allowing this awesome opportunity for us to hang out and tell the story from our perspective, from not only a student perspective, but from a young broadcaster's perspective. And happy to be here.
It's a great opportunity indeed. Thank you to our SID for softball as well, and Brian Ogden, our communication sponsor, and Chris Mission, everybody involved. Great opportunity. We head to the top half of the fourth. Tori Inslee will stand in as we're still scoreless at 0, and she takes the first pitch high and tight for ball 1. Inslee struck out back in the first inning, part of the 3 strikeouts in the ball game for Paige Gould. 1-0, fouled high, out of play over towards behind us, the tennis center, and the count will even up at 1-1 on the junior center fielder in Inslee. Inslee had a hit yesterday, didn't strike out yesterday, so got that going for today, and this one misses now 2-1. Gould has looked good, has filled up the zone, but has those 2 walks as well. Hadn't come back to haunt her yet, but got to continue to be careful and continue to try and fill up the strike zone. This one fouled, and count evens at 2-2.
Yeah, no doubt. She's gotten ahead in the count on a lot of those walks. It hasn't been just been 4 straight pitches and a walk, sending them over to first base. It's been battles. So you'd like to think that her confidence is still in the right place.
2-2. That one trickles in the dirt. Now the count runs full at 3-2. It was Winters last half inning, I believe. Look at the scorecard real quick. Tate Davis, who led off the last half inning with a walk, and so State trying to avoid that here. The 3-2. Keller takes a couple of steps in, makes the grab for out number 1. One retired here in the away half of the 4th for Paige Gould and Mississippi State.
Sun hasn't set just yet here in Starkville, so that play wasn't too difficult for Keller to track down. Wind is it too strong right now? It's a pretty routine play for the center fielder this evening.
Ariana Rhodey now going to stand in, all speed to her in there. Called strike 1 right down the middle. Yeah, a little bit of sun, I guess, peeking out. Not too much sun today, but don't have to worry about that for the time being as we're getting close to nighttime here in Starkville.
Lights are on.
Yeah, lights are on here. This one misses inside, 1-1. Much to the crowd's disapproval. They've kind of been all over the home plate umpire and Alex Leap this evening. 1-1 to Rhodey. Half there, John.
No, yeah, it's been a common theme that a lot of her strikeouts have been towards the end of the innings. This time she able to find her rhythm and gets a nice call to go her.
So Jamie McKay will stand in and way off on that one. A wave and a miss for strike 1 of the off-speed pitch. It was inside. 0 for 1. McKay, 4 out of her last 9 ball games. This one fouled away, and Quickland, too, has been hot over her last couple of ball games. 4 out of her last 9 games played, she's had a home run in each of those 4, so has been solid this year with 4 hit, so all 4 of those coming in those 9 games, but down in the count 0-2 here. This one swung on, sent through and into center field, a 2-out single, a 2-strike single from McKay. The Gamecocks get a runner aboard here in the top of the 4th inning.
You can blame Ty Goldman for that.
Yeah, that one was on me. I spoke too soon about the no hits so far. That one's on me. I apologize. But a good piece of 2-strike hitting there from McKay, who's been solid so far in this series, now 3 for 4 collectively. And they're going to go with a pinch hit, or runner, at first base. That's going to be number 22, Nia McKnight. Came in pinch ran yesterday. Mainly been a pinch runner for South Carolina over the last couple of ball games, and mainly was one last year. Alyssa Hovermail going to stand in. First pitch to her on the outer half for strike 1. She walked back in the 2nd inning, but didn't get any further than first base, and so Gould trying to work with 2 outs here. There goes the runner. McKnight throw down in time from Rivera behind the plate. Man, that was easy from Des Rivera. Nice tag applied over at second base by the second baseman in Romero. And caught stealing is Nia McKnight, who just entered as a pinch runner, and that's 3 outs. Top half of the 4th inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. And, John, that'll send us to the bottom half of the 4th inning. What the Bulldogs got to do at the plate here in this bottom half of the 4th?
Yeah, keep up the tough at-bats, and really they're having good ABs. All of it has to just do with timing, and you got to tip your cap to the pitching staff so far for South Carolina. You get a decent start for Lamb and now Hurd. You'd like to think that she doesn't get away with a similar outing as last night, but Mississippi State can piece together some good at-bats, maybe get a couple walks, battle it out, and maybe maybe, just maybe, you get an extra base hit and able to score some runs.
What they've been able to do is done a good job pitching with runners aboard. Hadn't phased anybody in that South Carolina pitching staff at all throughout these first 2 games, and they've done a good job with that as well. So we'll take a look at some scores around SEC softball today. Final, and the State, I believe, is the only game going on right now, and we are, so and on SEC Network as well, so good for that too. But looking at some scores around the SEC today, Oklahoma with an 8-4 victory over LSU in Game 3, and the Sooners take the series in Baton Rouge. Georgia with a 5-0 win over Kentucky. They complete the sweep over the Wildcats. Ole Miss falls 4-3 in Knoxville. So Tennessee able to salvage 1 game in that series and a big upset series win for the Rebels. Auburn with a 6-4 loss, and Missouri sweeps the Tigers in that one. And you also got A&M able to take 1 game off of Texas, so able to salvage 1 game in that one. Texas does win the series, but A&M able to take the game 3, 9-7. So there's some scores around the conference. Right now, we got a 0-0 scores. We head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Morgan Bernardini going to stand in for Mississippi State. The first pitch to her misses outside for ball 1 from Jory Hurd. Always have her dad really sitting right below the press box, telling her to be on time. She sends this one in the center, giving a pretty good ride. Back to the warning track is Inslee, and she's able to make the grab for a 2-pitch at bat and 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning for Mississippi State.
Yeah, good swing for Bernardini, but just a little bit under it. Gets a nice fly ball out to close towards that warning track. So let's see if Mississippi State can put a nice barrel to the bat.
Taylor Troutman going to stand in for Mississippi State. Swing and a foul ball, I believe, back to the netting for strike 1. Troutman 0 for 1. Flew out back in the 2nd inning. It was a diving play made by Lelio out there to take away a single from Troutman. There could have been extra bases for if that thing dropped. This one right down the middle, and quickly an 0-2 count now.
Doubt with Lelio out in left field, that is a very athletic defender that South Carolina has, and it's tough to place the ball over there.
0-2 to Troutman. Swung on, grounded foul, and Coach Zach Shaw at first base will give that one to the first baseman in Rhodey, and Troutman will stay alive in the count 0-2. She's come up big for State in SEC series so far this year. 2 home runs, both coming in the Tennessee series. Had that walk-off in Game 2 over the Volunteers. 0-2. Almost offered, did not go around, and that one missed high for ball 1. One-two pitch to Troutman, fouled above the South Carolina bench, and she'll stay alive for the time being. Troutman, a redshirt freshman out of Henderson, Kentucky. So far coming in through SEC play, a .294 batting average, one of the best in this order coming into the series for Mississippi State. 1-2 misses outside. The count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Troutman's getting some phenomenal experience playing in this SEC lineup as you're just a young batter. Would love to see Ricketts develop her into a phenom.
Goes down on strikes here, a swing and a miss from Troutman. She goes to 0 for 2 for the day, and 2 outs in the inning, and Bulldogs trying to avoid being retired in order for the 2nd time in this ball game, and it'll be up to Kinley Keller in the 6th spot, or rather the 7th spot, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch to Keller in the dirt.
Yeah,
for ball 1.
Keller, another young batter who has proven herself already so far this season, coming in .378.
This one misses outside now, 2-0. Yeah, she had a great non-conference. I mean, over 300 coming in, near 400. Coming into the series at average at 395. Has struggled a little bit, though, in SEC play. Only one hit in 6 games played. This one hit hard over to third, but Davis snags it, throw over to first in time for out number 3. So we've gone through 4 innings here, and we are still scoreless. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for State in their home half of the 4th inning. 0-0 our score as we head to the top half of the 5th inning. Paige Gould will be back in the circle for Mississippi State, and she'll face 6, 7, and 8 for South Carolina and Hovermail, Winters, and Davis. Back in just a moment for more Mississippi State softball as our score tied at 0. I'm Ty Goldman alongside John Wesley Cochran, and you're listening to Bulldog Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network and on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside John Wesley Cochran. Mississippi State and South Carolina in Game 2 tonight, tied at 0. Gamecocks won Game 1. The Bulldogs looking to take Game 2 and even up the series for us a rubber match Game 3 tomorrow evening in Starkville. Paige Gould back out in the circle for Mississippi State. So far, line score looks like this. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base for South Carolina. For State, no runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 4 left on base. Bulldogs have been active in the odd number innings. First and third innings have been able to get a runner to third base, but have not scored them, and so that's why we're still scoreless at 0.
Yeah, this has been a back and forth game. Lots of defense. Got to credit SC for being able to get outs, especially when Mississippi State has had runners at third base within 2 of those innings so far as we sit in the top of the 5th. So interested to see how this game plays out.
Alyssa Hovermail going to stand in. Right-handed batter's box and takes the first pitch for a called strike. One of the 3 batters that have gotten on base for South Carolina in this one walked back in the second. The 0-1 misses high and away for ball 1 and evens the count up. So far, Gould through 4 innings, only 1 hit given up, no earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Now at 62 pitches. 1-1, swung on and missed, strike 2. Past 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time here in Starkville. Beautiful night, feels great outside. 7:09 is our time. Here's the 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. 5th strikeout of the ball game for Gould, and she's able to start the inning off the right way. 1 gone in the top half of the 5th.
Man, that pitch was really, really pretty. Gould filling it up, already down through 4 1/3. Would love to see Gould go the distance tonight.
Lexi Winters now going to stand in. First pitch to her misses outside for ball 1. Had that, like I said, no-hitter, first career no-hitter on Wednesday. And so continuing that success here. 1 hit given up so far, but, in your last couple of innings of work, it would be 11 and a third innings of work. You've given up only one hit. Hit pretty solid. 18 strikeouts combined.
Yeah, we'll take it.
1-0 missed, and now the 2-0 misses, and now the count 3-0, and risk of a walk here with one out. Gould has done a good job of getting ahead of the count all day, and not so far in this at-bat. This one misses high, and a 4-pitch walk. Third walk issued from Peja Gould in the ball game, and that'll bring up Tate Davis with the runner at first base for South Carolina.
Yeah, third walk of the day, and the previous 2 walks have been straight battles, and this is the first walk that we've seen tonight where it's just a 4-pitch straight walk, and maybe that's a sign that she's slowing down, but you would like to think that she gets back in a rhythm as South Carolina makes the switch for a pinch hitter again in back-to-back innings.
Rather a pinch runner.
Pinch runner, yeah.
Lexi Shaver came in and pinch ran yesterday. Pinch ran in all 3 games against LSU last weekend, and pinch ran on Wednesday against Clemson. Like I said, pinch ran yesterday. First pitch to Tate Davis in there. Called strike 1.
Well, if it's anything like last inning, it is do not test Des Rivera behind the plate as she's got the cannon to throw him out at second.
Hard grounder over to third. 5, 4, 3. Double play. Barbary to Romero to Ernstis. And a 1-out walk does not harm the Bulldogs starter. A 5-4-3 double play and a twin killing to end the top half of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for Mississippi State. Great way to give yourself some momentum as you head to your home half of the 5th inning. 8, 9, and 1 due up for Mississippi State as we head to the 5th inning stretch here in Starkville.
No, yeah, that is the picture-perfect way to do it. You give up a 4-pitch walk, and then you respond with a 5-4-3 double play, able to get out of the inning. Now let's see if Mississippi State's bats can start to wake up, get some hits back-to-back, and see if we can get some runs across the board and try to take home and get us to a rubber match against South Carolina tomorrow.
So you look at yesterday, obviously the 2-0 win. Through 37 games now, and we're in our 38th here. Through 37 games, yesterday was only the 3rd time that State's been held scoreless this season. Got held scoreless against Belmont at home earlier in the year in a 1-0 loss to Belmont, who's been fantastic all season. Their star pitcher as well. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but one of the best pitchers in the country, and so got held scoreless in that one. Held scoreless in a 3-0 loss in the Tiger Invitational to Clemson. The Bulldogs came back and won the next day and defeated Clemson to win the Tiger Invitational. And then for only the 3rd time of the season yesterday, got held scoreless in a 2-0 loss. So Bulldogs, rarely have they been held scoreless, but in SEC play, runs have been hard to come by, especially here at home against Tennessee. Obviously a great pitching staff for the Volunteers. And in this one against South Carolina, it's been tough for State to get runs, through 11 innings played so far offensively, hadn't been able to score.
No, yeah. And definitely it's like the product of the pitching that they're facing, and there's only one series so far for Mississippi State where we don't face a ranked SEC opponent, and that is the last series of the season against Ole Miss. So
this one's sent out to right by Rivera to start the inning, and caught out there by Nia McKnight, who's now checked into the ball game for, I think she was in last inning too, for the starter in Jamie McKay. So 1 out in the inning for Mississippi State. Jory Hurd still out in the circle for South Carolina. Now Zion Romero will stand in. Yeah, great point there. I mean, it doesn't get any easier for Mississippi State. I mean, you got to go on the road to, a top 5 Florida squad, as this one misses high for ball 1. But I think you got to go on the road next weekend and face a top 5 Florida squad who's been fantastic, coming off a series win last weekend against Tennessee. Struggled against Arkansas this weekend, but it doesn't get any easier for State.
Oh, exactly that. I mean, and not only that, you have back-to-back series against 2 top 10 teams, and the following weekend you have to face a number 10 ranked Arkansas in News Park once again.
1-0 caught the zone, now 1-1. This one misses high, now 2-1 to Romero. For one today, grounded out back in the third. Yeah, you had that 3-game series, and then I was looking at it, you're scrolling at it, and you had number 16, Texas A&M. And then after that, number 20, LSU for Super Bulldog weekend. And then the end-out conference play, unranked Ole Miss team. But again, that's an Ole Miss team that took 2 out of 3 from number 4 Tennessee this weekend in Knoxville. So, can't mess around.
No, yeah. The road just doesn't get much easier for Mississippi State. I mean, it's pretty sad when you have to say that your breather game is against your rival an hour and a half down the road in Oxford. So, and that doesn't happen for a while now.
Yeah, that's a great point. There's a meeting in the circle for Carolina. Now the 2-1 misses high, now 3-1. A great point, too. Obviously that Tennessee win this weekend, but they're also your rival. So it's not like it is a breather series. Right, obviously, you want to win against your rival. 3-1 fouled back and off the netting, and the count runs full at 3-2 on Romero. It's just an incredible conference and has been for quite some time. Adding Texas and Oklahoma, too, back a couple of years ago, obviously increased the competition. Both those teams in the top 10 right now. Texas number one in the country. 3-2, called strike 3. Romero punched out. That one was, I think, framed pretty well. Looked like it caught the inner half, and that's a strikeout for her second of the ball game. And now 2 outs in the inning for Kiara Sells as the lineup flips over. Sells 0 for 1 today. Cade looking in the first. And in the third, walked. Made her way to third base, but could not get any further. This one misses outside for ball 1 to Sells. State yesterday, too, no extra base hits in that ball game. And so looking for their first extra base hit in this series still. In the bottom of the 5th inning in game 2. This one catches the zone now 1-1.
Yeah, we saw a couple innings back where we thought we might have seen an extra base hit with Troutman, but with this elite outfield, it's really tough to see a ball find some green grass.
Swing and a miss now 1-2. Yeah, outfield's played well this series. Carolina, a team that's really middle of the pack in terms of fielding percentage in this conference. And they've looked sharp, though, here now in game 2. This one's sent into center field to Inslee, and she's able to come up with it, but not before it drops for a base hit. So a 2-out single for Kiara Sells, and Mississippi State's got some life here trying to start a rally.
Yeah, 2 outs. Anything can happen here in News Park, but yeah, Tom, we finally see a little bit of green grass that is open, and Sells finds the slight hole that she's able to pierce it over just over the second baseman.
Sells now 1 for 2 in the game, and Morgan Stiles will stand in, who's 2 for 2. Stiles singles in both the first and the third inning. First pitch, she fouls back and out of play for strike 1. Looking at Stiles, too, this year, 11 multi-hit games now on the season after these 2 hits today. This one misses low for ball 1, evens the count up at 1-1. And last year she had 10 multi-hit games, so has gotten over what she got to last year. Has been nothing short of great for Mississippi State this season. The 1-1. Swung on and off the glove of Davis. Throw over to first in time, though, as the shortstop Anderson able to back her up. Man, great playing from the South Carolina defense. A hard line drive off of Davis's glove, but Anderson able to make the grab for out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base, and we are still scoreless through 5. Mississippi State and South Carolina still scoreless through 5, as I mentioned, and we'll move to the top half of the 6th inning. Peja Gould still out in the circle for Mississippi State. Back in just a moment for more Bulldog softball. I'm Ty Goldman alongside John Wesley Cochran, and you're listening to MSU Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder.
Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place? It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
Hi, I'm Jake Mangum. Life is about making the most of your at-bats. So if you struck out looking for auto insurance, give Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance a shot. Farm Bureau Insurance is offering huge discounts on their auto rates. In fact, over the last 12 months, Farm Bureau Insurance has taken 3 rate reductions. Talk about coming through in the clutch. So if you were with us before, you're new to Farm Bureau, it's time to come home. Visit msfbins.com to find great new rates on auto insurance. And go with the home team.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside John Wesley Cochran. As we head to the top half of the 6th inning in Game 2 between Mississippi State and South Carolina, we're still looking for our first run, John. It's 5 hits between the two teams. State has 4, Carolina has 1, but neither team has been able to cross home plate as we sit at 0-0.
No, yeah, and that is thanks to Peja Gould, who has been lights out the entire game, only giving up 1 hit, and Mississippi State's defense has done the work. They've been able to get out of innings, see if they can keep it up, and see if we can put some runs on the board.
First pitch to pinch hitter in Kai Byers, misses outside for ball 1. But here comes the 1-0. Misses outside as well, now 2-0. Byers, a freshman out of Mechanicsville, Virginia. He's played really come mostly off the bench in SEC play so far. 143 batting average. Does have a home run to her name in SEC play, as this one misses outside as well. And so count now 3-0, and Gould starting to miss arm side.
Yeah, and I think she's starting to slow down just a little bit as we get to here to start out this top of the 6th inning. We saw that towards the end of the top of the 5th with that last batter with a 4-pitch walk. Able to get out of it thanks to a 5-4-3 double play, and relies on her defense to get out of it. So
see what she does here with a 3-0. It's sweeping ball. It makes its way into the zone, and the count 3-1. State with some defensive changes. The battery remains the same. Gould in the circle, Rivera behind the plate. Infield remains the same as well. Here comes the 3-1. That one in there. Byers tried to scoot her way down to first base, but no, sir. She'll stay in the box. 3-2 now the count. Same infield, Barbary at third, Styles at short, Romero at second, Ernstis at first. In the outfield is where the change is. Silva in left, Kalani Sales now in center, and Kinley Keller over in right. 3-2, swing and a miss. What a way to battle back from Peja Gould after a 3-0 start to the count. Her 6th strike out of the ball game, and 1 out now in the away half of the 6th inning.
Man, I think that's what I like most about Peja Gould is she does not get rattled. Most pitchers, if they get in a 3-0 count, they give up. She does not. She fires back, full count, and a swing and miss for strike 3.
Starts off Quincy Lelio as the lineup flips over the right way with a strike and makes the count 0-1. Lelio, 2 ground outs in this ball game, 0 for 2. And she sends this one right back to Gould. Throw over to first, on target and in time for out number 2. So, again, after the 3-0 start to the count to lead off to Kai Byers, 2 outs retired in a couple of pitches. They've all been strikes. And now Carly Shelton will stand in with 2 gone quickly in the inning.
Yeah, you get to a 3-0 count, you start looking around, you think, man, is there anybody warming up in the bullpen? You get a strikeout, and then you get a quick ground out right to the pitcher, and now you have 2 outs, and you might get out of this inning with no harm.
Another good start to the count here. First pitch strike to Carly Shelton, who's also 0 for 2 with 2 ground outs. And this one swung on, sent over towards Romero at second. Throw over in time. And Carolina retired in order 1, 2, 3. Strikeout, ground out, ground out. First time that since the first inning that the Gamecocks have been retired completely in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base, as that sends us to the bottom half of the 6th inning. And Bulldogs in a good spot in the order. 3, 4, 5, Nadia Barbary, Paige Ernstis, Morgan Bernardini. See if Mississippi State maybe tries to shake up anything in the 4 spot with Ernstis, who hasn't really hit up there in the order so far this season. We'll see what State adjusts to. And also, they moved to, they had out in left field had Tatum Silva, so maybe see her grab a bat at some point. We'll have to see what happens. But, State has been able to get runners on and in scoring position, but so far 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position today. A little bit better than they were yesterday with runners on, 2 for 7, but hadn't been able to get a run to cross home or a runner to cross home plate.
Yeah, it's been very top-heavy this, especially the past 2 games with Mississippi State's lineup with 1 through 4 able to get the job done at the plate. So now with Mississippi State having 3, 4, 5 to the plate, obviously a lot of talent there, and you believe that they can get it done. But with the past, few games, we haven't seen the production. So we'd like to see maybe some players step up, see who rises to the occasion, takes the challenge, and can buy a base hit from Mississippi State.
So again, 3, 4, 5 to up. As of right now, it's Barbary, Ernstis, and Bernardini. Facing Jory Hurd is, again, we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. And Hurd has been solid in her 2 appearances so far for South Carolina in this series. Now combined between yesterday and today in relief, 7 scoreless innings thrown so far. Yesterday only allowed 2 hits. Was allowed 1 today, so 7 scoreless innings, 3 hits. Has been able to work with runners on base and then struck out a couple as well. And also, don't believe she walked a batter yesterday and she didn't yesterday and hasn't done that today.
No, yeah, she is a lights-out arm for South Carolina.
First pitch to Nadia Barbary, fouled down the left field line and out of, or rather, was in play, but hits off the wall before anybody can make a play. And there's the first pitch strike to Barbary, who's 1 for 2 today. Ground out in the 3rd, but a single in the 1st. The 0-1. Misses outside for ball 1. Barbary with that single in the 1st inning, and that single yesterday, might have mentioned earlier, but I'll mention it again, on a 7-game reach base streak now. Swinging a foul ball, hit out of play over towards the Carolina bullpen. On the count now 1-2. And Barbary as well, solid on base percentage, John, of .406 now on the season.
Yeah, stand out on base percentage. It'd be really clutch right here if she could find a way to reach first base and get things rolling for the Dogs.
And she does just that. Good call, John. This one sent in the center field, and a leadoff single for Nadia Barbary. She just does exactly what John was saying. Need to get John to do that more often here. Let's speak some runs into existence now.
Why don't you just feed me another on-base question? Let's see if we can
see what we can do with that.
Yeah.
Paige Ernstis going to stand in. She'll stay and remain the 4-hole hitter. Bulldogs are going to make a change on base and go with a pinch runner. Barbary will come out. Allie Supan will come in for Mississippi State. The pinch run has done that really all season. Pinch ran in 2 games last weekend against Georgia. Did not come in and pinch run yesterday, but has scored 12 runs primarily as a pinch runner in 26 games this season. Paige Ernstis will stand in, looking to lay down a bunt, and she does. Fielded by the second baseman or first baseman in Rhodey. Throw to first in time, but a sacrifice bunt. And you got to do what you got to do here late in the ball game. And Coach Ricketts defaults to moving the runner to second base on a sacrifice bunt, and Ernstis does the good job.
Yeah, Ernstis' stats aren't going to look the prettiest after that, but if we look back later in this game and see what the play of the game might be, It's that Ernstus, the cleanup hitter, able to lay down a sack bunt, advance the runner, and now we have the rest of this lineup with a bunch of talented batters with sitting around 300, 370. See if we can get an extra base hit.
Morgan Bernardini going to step in. First pitch to her, a strike. Yeah, it's a good point there. It could be, it was a pivotal at bat in the ball game for Ernstus to lay down that bunt and move the runner to second. Supan, a lot of speed out there. Bernardini trying to drive her in. 22 RBIs so far this season for her, and this one sent to short. Advancing is the runner at third base, and now Supan going to go as this one's thrown out of the reach of the first baseman in the air for Carolina, and the run scores. Man, that one happened so quick, and you've seen South Carolina's defense work so well throughout this ball game, and Anderson just throws it away. Supan able to advance on the original hit and then round third and score. The Bulldogs have their first run of the series, and it comes here in the bottom half of the sixth inning in Game 2.
Yeah, and you got to think that maybe Supan's base running in that specific situation might have helped out. As she's running across, Anderson is trying to field the ground ball, and maybe the vision maybe blurs her, maybe affects how she's going to make that throw to first base. Mississippi State, they take that. They take the error, able to round third base and be able to tap home plate with ease. State leads 1-0.
First pitch to Kalani Sales, who's pinch hitting now, misses for ball one. Bernardini made it to second on the throwaway. First error of the series for Carolina. She's replaced by Greta Grassel at second base in a pinch run scenario. One out in the inning for State. This one misses low now for ball two. So again, State's first run of the series, and it comes in the bottom of the sixth inning, and the Bulldogs will have a lead heading into the top half of the seventh inning. Now it's just a matter of how much the lead will be by. State's still a chance to go to work with runners and score with a runner in scoring position here with one out in the inning. 2-0 the count on Sells, and that draws a meeting in the circle with the Carolina infield. But just, hey, listen, you got to put a ball in play. That's a good point by you. You had Supan moving there, and I saw Anderson give an eye to Supan moving towards third base, and so maybe that was something that, made the throw off a little bit and then, maybe messed up the routine a little bit there for Anderson. But all you got to do is just put a ball in play, and you got to make the defense work, and that's what happened. And it didn't work properly, and State ends up benefiting off of it. Sells fouls this one back, now 2-1.
Yeah, and with two really great teams like Mississippi State and South Carolina, at the point where it's a back-and-forth game, somebody is bound to make a slight mistake at some point, and Mississippi State takes advantage.
This one misses way high, now 3-1. Greta Grassel again pinch running at second. On deck is Kinley Keller. Sells trying to reach here, a 3-1 count. This one misses out of the zone, now ball four. So the Bulldogs continuing to roll here in the sixth inning. Already a run scored, and they have the lead 1-0. Runners at first and second now for the freshman and Kinley Keller.
Yeah, so with a pretty decent start from Neely Lamb, Jory Hurd comes into this game, and if you're South Carolina, you're likely thinking, hey, we get a great outing yesterday. Let's see if she can do the same against this Bulldog squad. And now it seems like Mississippi State's able to get to this highly competitive, really good reliever and see if we can drive her out.
Well, I mean, they've been able to put balls in play. 2 hits, and obviously that error, the run doesn't count against her. Obviously not an earned run, as that was an error by the shortstop, right, Anderson. But, she's come in and, had really good innings for South Carolina. But State finally, with having runners on base, able to make have some motion with that. For the first ball for the ball game yesterday, it was State had runners on base, but Carolina had so much confidence. So did Hurd in pitching, and just didn't let it affect her. Today it does, and it affects the defense of the Gamecocks. Kinley Keller, stand-in runners at first and second for State, sends this one high and out of play for strike one. Keller 0 for 2 today. A K looking in the second, ground out in the fourth. A lot of speed on the base pass for Mississippi State, and Grassel at second base, and Kalani Sells at first. 0-1 to Keller. Swing and a miss, strike two. On deck is Des Rivera. Rivera has been clutch for State this season. Average, I believe, below 300 with runners in scoring position, but has been big for State at times this year. Keller sends this one up the middle and through. Rounding third is going to be Grassel. Throw in, cut off. 2-0 Mississippi State. Kinley Keller with an RBI hit into center, and the Bulldogs lead 2-0 over the Gamecocks in the sixth inning.
Timely base hits. It's the three words that we said coming into this game. And then Keller, the freshman, with a big play. We just needed somebody to step up, rise to the occasion. And with one out in the bottom of the sixth, Mississippi State finally adds a little bit more insurance. Finally, they're able to get an earned run off of Jory Hurd, who was flawless yesterday, and now Mississippi State's starting to get to her.
Bunt attempt not laid down, and State trying to go with a suicide squeeze, and Sells is thrown out trying to take home plate. She was thrown out back at third. That would be the second out of the inning. I think State's going to review this just in case, and I believe they will. But Sells and Rivera was trying to lay down the bunt there on a suicide squeeze for Mississippi State. As the Bulldogs are getting confirmation now, we're gonna review this, but Sells just couldn't quite get back to third base. Heads up play from the catcher and Winters to throw that one back to Davis at third. And looking at the replay on the board, I can't tell from this angle. It looks like they did get the tag down in time. And John going to look at it too. I think they got the tag down in time. We'll see. And here comes the call. And so out at third base is Sells, and tough situation there for Mississippi State, as now you only have one runner in scoring position.
Not ideal if you're Mississippi State, but at the end of the day, you got to tip your cap to Winters, who's playing catcher behind the plate for the Gamecocks. A heads-up play, and able to see Sells trying to get a few more feet.
Swing and a miss, and gets back to the backstop, and Keller able to advance to third, so just 60 feet away now. That one was not a foul ball and just went simply off the glove of Winters. So,
yeah, to the average eye, you would think, oh my gosh, that's a foul ball, but no. Keller able to advance from second to third, and now is 60 feet.
Rivera on the 0-2 pops this one over to first base, and the play made by Rhodey in time. And for out number 3, but the Bulldogs able to score 2 in the 6th, 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. Gamecocks scored 2 in the 6th yesterday. Bulldogs scored 2 in the 6th today. They take a 2-0 lead into the 7th inning and look to try and even up the series and win in Game 2 to force a Game 3 rubber match tomorrow evening. 2-0 Mississippi State. Back in just a moment for the top half of the 7th inning. Peja Gould will come out and look to end the ball game and win for Mississippi State. 2-0 Bulldogs. Back in just a moment. I'm Ty Goldman alongside John Wesley Cochran, and you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back into the Bulldogs Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside John Wesley Cochran. Bulldogs take a 2-0 lead in the 6th inning and head to the top of the 7th inning with a chance to even up the series. Bulldogs score on an error and then a Kinley Keller single or double in the center field, and State looking to win this ball game here 2-0. Tori Inslee will stand in. First pitch to her misses high for ball 1. Peja Gould still out in the circle looking to pitch another complete game, looking for her 9th complete game on the year. And this one catches the zone now 1-1 to Inslee, who is 0 for 2 in today's contest.
Man, what a night for Peja Gould, man. 6 strikeouts, only giving up 1 hit so far. She's been lights out the entire night.
This one misses high, and count now 2-1. Only knock is the walks that have created some traffic for South Carolina. But with traffic on the base pass, she's been able to pitch through that and has done excellent with runners on for South Carolina, as this one fouled back off the net. And the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. And South Carolina's only had 1 opportunity with the runner in scoring position in the ball game, so just speaks to what State, Gould has done and what State's defense has done, too, to limit that and limit South Carolina's chances. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tori Inslee goes down on strikes for the 2nd time in the ball game. Gould with her 7th strikeout of the ball game, and 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. The Bulldogs 2 outs away from a Game 2 win.
Yeah, just 2 more away, and you would love to see Peja Gould finish out this game with confidence and have another back-to-back game with complete games for this pitching staff.
Ariana Rohde now going to stand in. First pitch to her, and a miss low and inside for ball 1. And the 1-0 catches the outer half, now 1-1. You look now, 3 games in a row. UT Martin midweek on Wednesday, yesterday's game, and now today. If Gould can finish this out, it would be just 3 straight complete games from 2 different pitchers. A complete game for Gould on Wednesday, a complete game yesterday for Faircloth, who pitched great, just couldn't get the win. The State couldn't get any runs across, and then Gould would have a solid game today, and State gets runs across, and so she'll get the win. 2-2 now on Rohde.
Yes, no, definitely, and now you have a similar game, almost the exact same game last night against South Carolina with Faircloth. Now you have Peja Gould who gets the W.
This one going to
close things out.
This one going to move low and inside. Now the count full 3-2. Yeah, still got to close things out. Carolina moving towards that middle part of the order now. Rohde in the 4 spot. 0 for 2 today. Here's the 3-2. That one in there, called strike 3. Another strikeout in the top half of the 7th. Back-to-back Ks, and Peja Gould and Mississippi State 1 out away from a Game 2 win over South Carolina to force a series-deciding Game 3 tomorrow. Gamecocks going to go back to Jamie McKay. Nia McKnight had been in the ballgame defensively, and so they re-enter Jamie McKay, who is 1 for 2 in this game so far, has the only hit in the ballgame for South Carolina. 3 for 4 in the series so far, and this one right down the middle for strike 1. Coming up in the post-game show, John Wesley Cochran will have a post-game interview for you with our head coach Samantha Ricketts, so stay tuned for that. And I'll chat in the first part, and John will chat with me in the second part in the post-game show. So stay tuned for our post-game show here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. 0-1 catches the outer half. 0-2 now. Bulldogs need one strike. The 0-2. Swing and sent down the left field line and fair. Rounding first is McKay, and she's going to be in safely. A stand-up two-out double, and McKay keeps the ball game alive for the time being, and that'll put the tying run at the plate with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning.
Yeah, hats off to McKay right there. 2 for 3 on the night. A really great piece of hitting coming into this game, and now you get a 0-2 count, and she's able to send it down the left field line. So now you'd like to think that Peja Gould will settle in and lock in on this last batter.
Alyssa Hovermail standing in. First pitch to her misses inside for ball 1. Hovermail 0 for 1 in the game. Walked back in the 2nd inning. Struck out in the 5th. She represents the tying run here in the top of the 7th. The Bulldogs up 2-0. This one misses outside, and now 2-0 the count. Lexi Winters in the on-deck circle for Carolina represents the go-ahead run. 2 outs in the inning. 2-0 right down the middle for strike 1. It's only the second opportunity for Carolina in the ball game with runners in scoring position. Gould has pitched well all game with runners on base. 2-1 swing and a miss, strike 2. And so again, a 2-strike count with 2 outs. Gould looking to grab her 13th win of the year. The 2-2. Swung on, fouled back. Count will stay where it is. Game 3 tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time here in Starkville. We'll have that for you on the Bulldog Student Sports Network on our YouTube channel, as well as on hellstate.com and the Hellstate app. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bulldogs win 2-0. Peja Gould, a complete game shutout, only allowing 2 hits. She strikes out 8 South Carolina batters, and for the 3rd straight time in each of their SEC series, the Bulldogs have taken Game 2, and they force a rubber match Game 3 tomorrow. Mississippi State, a 2-0 win over South Carolina.
Ty, we both know that SEC wins are not easy to come by, and especially whenever you have 2 really, really good pitchers. And this time, Mississippi State, they're able to get the W. This was almost a copy and paste game from last night, as you know, Alyssa Faircloth, she goes 6 innings pitched, or she gives you 7 complete innings. This time, Peja Gould, she gives you 7 innings. State comes out with the W.
Yeah, big win for Mississippi State, and the Bulldogs move to 31-7 with the win, 3-5 in conference play. Carolina falls to 22-14 and 2-6 in conference play, and most importantly, Bulldogs have a chance for their first conference series win tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time at News Park. Bulldogs win 2-0, almost a carbon copy from yesterday, except the Bulldogs win by 2 instead of the Gamecocks, and the MSU evens up the series. And you can wrap this one, my friends, in maroon and white. Bulldogs 2, Gamecocks 0. John Wesley Cochran's going to go down and grab a post-game interview with head coach Samantha Ricketts. I'll come on and talk for a little bit. We'll get that interview for you and into our system here, and we'll get everything settled for you on the post-game show on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Again, State wins 2-0 over South Carolina in Game 2, forcing a rubber match Game 3 tomorrow evening. Back in just a moment for the post-game show. I'm Ty Goldman alongside John Wesley Cochran, and you've been listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
I'm Jake Mangum. A great team knows how to gel and only gets better over time. Kind of like auto insurance for Farm Bureau Insurance. Over the last 12 months, auto rates have had 2 reductions. And after February 15th, 2026, members will see another reduction of 5%. If you aren't already on the team, there's no better time to join Farm Bureau. Visit msfbins.com to find great new rates on auto insurance, or contact your local agent to get more details on how you can save. Go with the home team, go with Farm Bureau.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you turn your backyard into your personal movie theater.
Start movie night.
Own your day on the network for connected living. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Bulldog pride. When I'm carrying the Mississippi State University Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra state gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra Hail State from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go State to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fans section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Welcome into the Bulldog Student Sports Network and our post-game show here at News Park, the press box in Starkville, Mississippi. Mississippi State winners over South Carolina in Game 2 of this 3-game set. Bulldogs dropped Game 1 yesterday, but they even up the series today with a 2-0 win over South Carolina, and the Bulldogs moved to 31-7 on the year, 3-5 in Southeastern Conference play. Gamecocks fall to 22-14 and 2-6. In Southeastern Conference play. Again, it's another series, 3 straight series for Mississippi State where they've taken a Game 2 against the squad and have been able to force a rubber match Game 3. And so another solid performance from the pitching staff for Mississippi State today. We saw that yesterday from Paige Gould, and we see it today, yesterday from Melissa Faircloth, and we see it today from Paige Gould, who's the winning pitcher in today's ball game. 13-4 record, another complete game shutout for her. 1.17 ERA now is what her ERA moves to on the season. Coming into the ball game, it was at 1.35, so moves down 18 points for her as the winning pitcher again, a solid performance. 7 full innings pitched. Again, like I said, a complete game. And you have 2 hits given up and no runs, obviously. 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, 24 batters faced, through 102 pitches. Another complete game for a Mississippi State pitcher, and just a really solid offensive or defensive performance for Mississippi State. And the Bulldogs get a huge win in Game 2. Carolina, the losing pitcher, Jory Hurd, falls to 5-4, 3 2/3 innings for Hurd, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 15 batters faced. 47 total pitches thrown in the ball game. Neely Lamb started. No decision for Hurd. Went 2 1/3, 3 hits, no runs given up, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 11 batters faced. She threw 45 pitches, but the loss goes to Jory Hurd. Final line score: Bulldogs score their runs in their 2 runs in the 6th inning. It's 2 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and 6 left on base for Mississippi State. For South Carolina, no runs scored for them on 2 hits, 1 error, and they leave 3 on base. So Bulldogs kept the traffic off the base pass for the most part in today's ball game. I'm going to prepare the post-game interview for you from John Wesley Cochran that he got with our head coach in Samantha Ricketts. We'll get that set for you and have it when we come back, and John Wesley Cochran and I will talk about the ball game that we saw today. Mississippi State winners 2-0 over South Carolina in Game 2. They force a rubber match and a deciding Game 3 tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time. Be back in just a moment. We're going to take a short break, and we'll have that post-game interview for you up and ready with John Wesley Cochran and our head coach, Samantha Ricketts. Mississippi State 2, South Carolina 0. Back for more of our post-game show here on the BSSN. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder.
Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place? It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Jake Mangum here. When I'm at the plate, I'm always looking for an edge. So when I'm shopping for auto insurance, I'm always looking to save. That's why I'm going with Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance to keep me covered. They're always finding ways to save you money, like a 7% discount when you sign up for paperless billing and documents. Go to msfbins.com and discover how much you can save on auto insurance, or find a local agent and get started today. Go with the home team. Go with Farm Bureau Insurance.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Bulldog pride. When I'm carrying the Mississippi State University Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra state gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra Hail State from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go State to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C-Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C-Spire. Customer inspired.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network in our post-game show here live from News Park. Mississippi State winners in Game 2 over South Carolina 2-0, and Mississippi State forces a Game 3 rubber match tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Time. We'll have that for you on the Bulldog Student Sports Network on our YouTube channel, as well as on hailstate.com and the Hail State app. John Wesley Cochran has gone along. Got school tomorrow here in Starkville, so I got to go study for a test. But he's gone along, but he was able to go and get a post-game interview with our head coach, Samantha Ricketts. And here that is right here, John Wesley Cochran with your Bulldog head coach in Samantha Ricketts.
I'm here with head coach Samantha Ricketts. Coach, you get a big one tonight, win 2-0 over South Carolina. Almost a copy-paste of last night. This time you get the W. What does it feel like to get a win?
Yeah, I mean, just excited for the way that we responded. It's exactly what we expected to do and what we know our team is capable of. But I love the response. I thought the energy and just the focus in the dugout was on point the entire game, and everybody was invested. Another great game by our pitching staff. Tasia did a really great job of just attacking the zone and getting us back in the dugout and finding ways, getting runners on again, and then cashing in when we needed to there late in the game.
Yeah. Well, you almost kind of took it right there. Last night you get Alyssa Faircloth to go complete game. This time you get another complete game. What does it feel like to have two people that you can trust to give you really good innings like that?
Yeah, I mean, we've got one of the best pitching staffs in the country, and it's just our job to come up with a couple timely hits for them, and just love the competitiveness and just the way that they just inspire confidence, I think, in the rest of the team, and just wanting to have their back, make the plays behind them, and then score them some runs, I think, is the big key. But they're just both great team players. They're fiery, they're competitors, and they want to win, and we want to do it together.
So you said beforehand that you wanted to switch up the entire lineup, or get some new mojo. You get Ernstis in the 4 spot and gives you a really big sack bunt. How huge was that in kind of getting this entire thing going for the rest of the game?
Yeah, I mean, we've really felt we've got a deep roster all year long, and just finding ways to get some new opportunities up there. And we mentioned the bunts we didn't get down yesterday were a huge part, and just finding ways to have team at bats and move over runners when we get them on. So great bunt by Paige. Just some really good base running. I think Ali Supin off the bench, and then another one, Kenley Keller in the lineup with the start today and ready for her opportunity for the big 2-out RBI.
Yeah. So you even up the series now. What's it going to take for tomorrow in the rubber match to seal the deal against SC?
Yeah, I mean, Game 3s in this conference, they're tough. They're a dogfight, and we're going to have to continue to do everything well, and just knowing that they're not going to back down. It's probably going to be another back and forth battle just between the pitching staffs and the offense, and we got to be ready to play clean in all three phases.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
that was your Bulldog head coach in Samantha Ricketts. Really happy with the win, and that was John Wesley Cochran as well with our Bulldog Student Sports Network. Appreciate you, John, going down and getting the interview, and also appreciate head coach Samantha Ricketts taking the time to have the pregame interview with us yesterday and today, as well as the postgame interview with us tonight, and we'll get a pregame and postgame interview for you tomorrow as well. But always appreciate her, appreciate our SID and Brian Ogden for making that possible, and very, very grateful to be able to have that opportunity. But thrilled with the win. Obviously, talked about the pitching staff there, and she said one of the best pitching staffs in the country. We've seen that all year. We see it again tonight. Another complete game. You had the complete game yesterday from Melissa Faircloth. Couldn't come up with a win, but this time you support her with some runs, and you support Paige Gould with some runs, and she comes up with the win in a complete game shutout. So again, it's just game after game, State's proving that they do have that top pitching staff, or one of the top pitching staffs in the country, and it's just incredibly impressive to watch. I mean, also too, John talked about the pinch hit, or excuse me, the bunt scenario. I say pinch hit with it being Paige Ernstis because that was her nickname last year, was pinch hit Paige, because she came in and was clutch so much with pinch hitting last year for Mississippi State. But this year and in today, she was clutch with that sacrifice bunt, which really helped get the ball rolling for MSU in the ball game, and was huge for Mississippi State. Obviously, you have the bunt there, moves a runner to second base. That was Allie Supan, and then put a ball in play. Morgan Bernardini does, and and Carolina makes their first error of the series. And you just have to put balls in play. That's all you have to do. Make the defense work, and obviously. Nobody can be perfect and everything like that, and they just couldn't do that there, and you just have to put the ball in play, and things are going to happen. Something's got to happen if you put the ball in play, and it did there, and it was an error that scored the run for Mississippi State. And with Mississippi State having Kinley Keller, a freshman, come in and a chance to add some insurance, and she does that with a double up the middle. Just an impressive piece of hitting right there from her, and State able to add 2 in the 6th like South Carolina did yesterday. I mean, exactly like South Carolina did yesterday in their offensive half of the 6th inning. Bulldogs do that today, and this time they win 2-0 after the 2-0 loss yesterday. So just a good performance from Mississippi State today. Obviously, the pitching and the defense spectacular for the Bulldogs. A little bit better with runners in scoring position and runners on. Today with runners on base. Yesterday we were 3 for 15. Today we were 3 for 10. So 300 average with runners on. Solid right there. Runners in scoring position 1 for 7. The one lone hit from Kinley Keller. So you can improve there, but you were better with runners on base, and just continuously had runners on, and the Carolina eventually broke there with that error in the 6th inning, and then able to get one more by with the clutch hitting from Kinley Keller. So an improvement from game to game you saw today from Mississippi State, and that's what you want to continue to see is you continue to move throughout Southeastern Conference play. For State's pitching staff, Carolina today at the plate 0 for 6 with runners on base, 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position, and 0 for 2 sticks out to me as well because they only had 2 opportunities with runners in scoring position. That's how Gould had 3 walks in the ball game. That's how big and how much Gould clutched up with runners at first. Just didn't really cave in at all and continued to battle even though things weren't going her way at times, and that was just so impressive from her in the ball game to be able to continue to battle back and only allow 2 opportunities for South Carolina in scoring position. Man, just a really solid performance from her, and the defense as well too. He had a runner at first, and I think it was the 5th inning. I'll go back and look at the scorecard real quick and I'll know. Yeah, in the 5th inning, he had a runner at first in a one-out walk, and then you had a 5-4-3 double play from Barbary to Romero over to Ernstis at first base. So, again, it was the defense working as well with runners on base and Peja Gould working too. Credit to Des Rivera, too, behind the plate. She had a great game, threw a runner out at second base and kept things tight behind the plate. Did a really, really solid job today in the ball game. And then, like I said, defensively, really solid all across the board. No errors made through these first two ball games. Turn a double play today. That was big to get State out of the inning, gave them some momentum. Obviously, some momentum heading into the sixth inning where you scored your 2 runs heading into for the rest of the game, obviously. And then you had, again, just offensively, some late firepower, able to continue to put runners on base. And, so at least we're, continuing to have that opportunity and have runners on base today. And you look at it from game to game, at least in these first 2 games of the series, continued to improve. 3 for 15 with runners on yesterday, 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position yesterday. Today, 3 for 10 with runners on today, and 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. 1 for 7, you may be like, Ty, that's not too good, but at least it's game by game improvement. And when you have a pitching staff that's so good and a defense is so good for Mississippi State, one like that can be, even though it looks so minuscule, it's so big, because just one big play like that and one big hit like that can really, really make a difference in the ball game. And it did today. Added some insurance for Mississippi State, and they won the game 2-0. So looking at offensively, some players who shined. Kiara Sells continues the on-base streak. Everybody in that top 3 with an on-base streak, and they continue it. Sells went 1 for 2 in the game, also walked as well, so got on base 2 times. So did Morgan Stiles and Nadia Barbary. Those two had 2 hits each, 2 for 3 for both of them in the ball game. Nadia Barbary had that hit in the 6th inning and was pinch run for by Ali Supan. So, Supan came around to score, and, but that was Barbary who got on base to start the inning, and then she was pinch run for. So, solid to provide a base runner from Barbary and one of the base runners that score, one of the 2 that scored in the game for Mississippi State. And then you look at the only other Bulldog who had the other hit, and that was Kinley Keller, had a clutch RBI in the 6th inning, as I've been mentioning. 1 for 3 in the game with a RBI double, and a big one for Mississippi State to add some insurance as the Bulldogs win 2-0 over South Carolina. And again, 3rd straight SEC series where the Bulldogs have evened up the series in Game 2. They've won Game 2 3 straight times and have come up empty in Game 3 for 2 straight SEC series. So hopefully we can right the ship tomorrow and figure that out and get a win in Game 3. And we're going to continue to see great pitching as well. So looking forward to Game 3 tomorrow. Is in any rubber match, Game 3 is always fun to look forward to, and tomorrow's no different. Big ball game for Mississippi State tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time here in Starkville. Again, we'll look at some scores from around the conference. Mentioned this earlier, but we'll look at some here. Oklahoma with an 8-4 win over LSU today in Baton Rouge to win the series. Oklahoma now 34-3 on the season. Georgia with a 5-0 win over Kentucky today in Lexington. They sweep the Wildcats. Tennessee with a 4-3 win over Ole Miss today in Knoxville. They're able to salvage 1 game out of that 3-game set. Ole Miss with an upset series win, but Tennessee takes Game 3, 4-3. Missouri with a win today, 6-4 over Auburn, and they sweep the Tigers in Auburn. And then you look at A&M. They're able to take 1 game from Texas in Game 3. Texas with the series win, but A&M wins 9-7 over Texas in Game 3 in Austin, and so a big win for A&M to be able to at least grab 1, and only the 2nd loss of the year for the number 1 ranked Texas Longhorns. And then also look at Arkansas and Florida, top 10 matchup, and I believe with the that win today, Arkansas won 6-4 today. I believe it was I'm going to go look back and make sure. Florida won yesterday, 12-6, and Game 1, Arkansas won 6-2. So a series win for Arkansas today over Florida. Great top 10 matchup in Fayetteville, and the Hogs get the best of the Gators in that one. And then obviously your final today, 2-0 Mississippi State to even the series. Bulldogs will be the only team in action in the SEC tomorrow, as they will take on South Carolina at 6 o'clock Central Time here in Starkville, Mississippi. That'll be on the SEC Network on TV, and then also like tonight was as well. And you had Mississippi State all over the SEC Network tonight. You had the baseball team played on the SEC Network and won against Ole Miss earlier today, and then this one tonight was on the SEC Network as well. So good to see Mississippi State showcased on the SEC Network all day today, and they'll be on tomorrow at 6 o'clock Central Time for Game 3 between Mississippi State and South Carolina. And we'll have Game 3 tomorrow for you on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and on YouTube and on hailstate.com and the Hail State app. Looking really quickly at some other scores for Mississippi State athletics. You look at this weekend for baseball. They win 7-1 today over Ole Miss and complete the sweep of the Rebels. So a 3-0 sweep. They won Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, and the Bulldogs continue their dominance over Ole Miss and believe are 30-10 in the last 40 matchups between against their rivals from up north. And so a big win for Mississippi State. They've won now 8 ball games in a row, and will big series coming up next weekend. I believe that's Georgia next weekend. Georgia in the top 10, so big series coming up. Got a midweek as well, but Georgia coming to town next weekend for Mississippi State baseball. Men's tennis with a 4-1 win today over Kentucky, and they continue to roll. Men's tennis number 6 in the country. And they go 2-0 this week, a 6-1 win over Ole Miss earlier in the week, and then a 4-1 win over Kentucky. And so a good win for them. So there's some scores from around athletics for you for Mississippi State. And, of course, today state softball wins 2-0 over South Carolina. So that'll pretty much wrap it up here in Starkville. Great to be with you this evening. Glad to broadcast with you as always. Again, appreciate the opportunity to be a part of Learfield as well with this. Thank you to Brian Ogden, our SID here for Mississippi State softball. Thank you to our communication sponsor, a communication department sponsor for the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Chris Mission. And thank you to Neil Price as well, Mississippi State, voice of the Bulldogs, and helped us out a lot in that as well. Looks like some buses coming in, and maybe Mississippi State's baseball team coming in back from Oxford. So that's what it looks like right there. Just noticed that on so look to my right. But again, thank you to Neil Price as well. Appreciate him very much, and thank you to everybody at Learfield involved in helping us out in getting all this set up and getting it ready to go. Appreciate y'all very much, and again, appreciate the opportunity. Very fortunate to have this opportunity, and thank y'all again very, very much. And thank you to Mississippi State for winning today. You'll provide a great Game 3 tomorrow. Love to always be a part of a Mississippi State win, and really, really proud of Mississippi State today, able to come back and answer in Game 2, and a solid win for them. In a great pitching performance and defensive performance, pitching from Peja Gould. Again, she gives the winning pitcher and moves to 13-4 on the year. One more time, we'll give the final line score, and then we'll get out of here. For Carolina, no runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 3 left on base. For Mississippi State, they scored their lone runs in the 6th inning, and they scored 2 on 6 hits, no errors, and 6 Bulldogs left on base. Well, you can wrap this one in maroon and white. Mississippi State 2, South Carolina 0. Bulldogs force a deciding Game 3 tomorrow against South Carolina, 6 p.m. Central Time. We'll have that on the Bulldog Student Sports Network on YouTube. You can catch the link from us on our social media accounts at X, on X at at BSSN_MSU and on Instagram at Bulldog Student Sports Network. You also catch the links for that as well on Hail State Softball on X and Instagram. You can see that, and they'll have those links posted as well. And we'll have 6 p.m. Central Time tomorrow in Starkville, Game 3 between Mississippi State and South Carolina. Bulldogs, again, win 2-0 over the Gamecocks to even the series and force a rubber match tomorrow. For John Wesley Cochran, who was with us earlier, I'm Ty Goldman signing off from News Park. Thank you very much for listening tonight. Bulldogs win 2-0. Everybody have a great rest of your Sunday evening. Take care, and Hail State.
From Learfield, you've been listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Sports Network. Mississippi State Softball has been sponsored by C Spire, customer inspired. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation.